Hello friends, and welcome to the video presentation of the BigBlue 400 watt solar panel. I don't believe this is on sale right now, except possibly for Kickstarter or some other website where I ordered this panel, actually 3 of them, as part of a kit with their solar generator. And this is the first time I'm actually testing it out outside. I haven't had the opportunity to, and I've had this since last year. However, I want to check it out and see what the fuss is all about. Alright friends, let's first measure what the length and the width is. So lengthwise, let's see. We got it at about 39 inches. And height, height is about 28 inches. Length with height, you get the point. So 28 by 39. And the thickness, it's actually pretty not that thick. We're talking about a little bit over an inch, probably an inch and a half. Now for the voltage open circuit, I connected the Anderson connector, and let's see what voltage we're getting. Okay. $59.31. Oh, so we got 59.31 for open circuit voltage. So this is what the panel looks like being set up. What I like about it is that it has these grommets. So you could technically attach it to a building or something like this. Oh, come on, man. So apparently this is ETFE. This panel is probably 45 pounds. I would say pretty heavy to carry. Let's see what it does producing energy. So out of 400 watts, I'm getting 314 in the battery bank. What I'm using here is a 30 amp Victron controller. Do you see it has all these solar disconnect. These are 50 amp fuses, and there's even a diode here in case I want to connect things to parallel. So that's a 30 amp Victron, which can do up to 430 watts, something like this. So it's a perfect test control, so that this way we could use it with this battery. We're doing 311 watts. I would say that's actually pretty good. Let's see on the bottom of this what the solar panel values are. Okay, so there's the Solarpowa 400 B1004A. So open circuit voltage is 61.5, it says. Short circuit current 8.2. Okay, that's interesting. And these are the different stands that it has. So one thing that this panel does not have is a little pouch for carrying the cables. So you would need to carry the cable separately. However, what it allows the panel to do is actually to be slightly more compact because of it. Oh, and let's see the solar test condition. So that's the solar test conditions. Pretty much not a cloud in the sky. So what do I think about this? This panel is part of a package deal that I got. I believe it was like $3,000 for their solar generator plus 3 of these panels. The reason why I got it was that solar generator can do up to 1,000 watts input. So the idea is that it came with a parallel cable, so you could connect all these 3 panels in parallel to the solar generator and generate up to 1,000 watts of electricity. Having checked what this panel is producing right now, we're noticing that it's producing over 300 watts from what it can do. So the idea of that solar generator is that, for example, a lot of solar generators can only do a maximum input of, let's say, 500. What I'm meaning specifically is like the Wukitel, 2,000 watt solar generator, and I wanted something that I could literally charge in like 2 hours with 3 of these solar panels. So you could throw it in the back of your car, and the solar generator is not part of this video. However, my experience using it is that it has a steady 2,000 watt probably output, or let's say maximum I took out of it was probably 1,800 to 2,000 watts using an oven for rotisserie chicken. So it worked to be able to power it. I know with the Wukitel, I wasn't actually able to run a 1,500 watt coffee maker, even though it's at 2,000 watts. However, the one that's the BigBlue solar generator, can do up to 2,400 watts. So it was able to cook that chicken. However, the situation is that the 2,000 watts wasn't enough for fully cooking it for an hour. So I'll probably need to use additional battery packs for that. So let's see, what don't I like about it? I would say it is pretty heavy, carrying the 45 pounds. And also, I feel like this solar panel is that if you crunch it, like I was holding the side because it's very thin, it's very easy to like crunch this. That's the thing that scares me. Sometimes when you handle solar panels, you'll notice that you hear like this little crunching sound, and that crunching sound I think means that like some of the glass inside is breaking, because it's still technically a glass panel, or is it not glass panel? Whatever, some sort of contacts might be breaking inside. Perhaps maybe it's fine. What I do like about it is the ETFE coating, the addition of the grommets. So the potential that I see for this solar panel is, let's say if you have a south facing wall, or if you have a wall of this height, just multiply 28 inches by 3 and you'll get this. So it's like 112. So anyways, long story short is that if you have a wall either this width or this height, you could actually attach it to that and have a solar panel system being able to generate the electricity for you. I'm kind of like in the belief system about building integrated photovoltaics. Basically what it means is that we have in cities, for example, entire walls. You see that entire wall, like this wall up here? Imagine you take this solar panel and you take some screws and you attach it to this wall. You could probably put 2, 3, 4, 5 kilowatts of energy onto this wall that faces south all day. This wall keeps getting heated all the time. Probably it increases your a cooling bill. However, if you think about it, if you connect a couple solar panels like this, maybe you could even run an air conditioner and take it off. And the idea is that it's nice and flat. It would attach to the wall and there would be nothing to catch on because it doesn't have that framing. So that's the potential that I see it. Also because it's waterproof. The junction area to me looks completely waterproof. Let's see if I can actually see it. You see that area? Made in Vietnam. Okay. Interesting. So I would probably use this on a wall, attach it to a wall, and then you do, or maybe you could actually use bungees and attach it to the sides of an RV, or other ideas. I'm trying to think of different ideas where possibly even some of these foldable solar panels might be used in the future. Perhaps the glass rigid panels, the ones for buildings and stuff, might work better for that situation. But if you think about it, literally you could use 8 screws and have this baby attached very well. I'm just seeing the potential of such a wall. Probably put like 6 of these. Could have 3 kilowatts just on that wall. And then you wouldn't even need any crazy mounting hardware and stuff like this. I do like that it's thin and carryable. I do like that it would probably fit in your trunk pretty easily. I gave you the measurements earlier. So perhaps with the BigBlue solar generator, it could work well. The kit came, I told you, with a parallel cable, which allows you to take 3 of these panels, connect them in parallel, where plus goes to plus, 3 of them, and minus to minus, 3 of them, to charge that solar generator. So that's the idea, is that technically you could have a 2,000 watt system. However, it being only 2 kilowatts, that's kind of limiting. And that's the reason why I came up with this sort of portable Victron controller system. You see this? This is a Lexan. It's probably 30 times stronger than plexiglass. And I followed the manufacturer's instructions to put 50 amp fuses. So this is a solar charge cutoff. So one side, it has the ability to plug in 3 different solar panels. In here is actually a 20 or 30 amp diode, which allows you to connect multiple solar panels of different voltages, so they wouldn't affect each other. It wouldn't let the back feeding of the stuff in there. And the Anderson connectors are awesome. What you could also do is connect 3 240 watt Dell power supplies that you would outfit with this thing. I found that when you connect the Dell power supplies, sometimes there are different voltages and they shut off. They have some sort of protections on them and they would shut off. So that's why there's a diode inbuilt into here, over here. So I'm able to shut this off very quickly, and this is able to be very much easily portably connected. Also, notice I have multiple cables here. So what this means is that I could actually parallel up to 3 batteries. Let's say I have 3 2 kilowatt batteries, and charge them all equally from this one generator. What we're producing is 290 watts. So perhaps it's closer to 300 when it's coming in. What I notice when I have this connected to a computer through the USB cord, first I updated the firmware and I set the charging parameters to Smart Lithium LiFePO4, because that's a LiFePO4 battery in there. And yeah, and why did I do 30 amp controller is because these cables, the 10AWG, are designed for up to 30 amps going through them, and this Anderson connector is designed for up to 45 amps. The idea is that you never want to overamp cables because that what causes things to heat up. And also I'm using silicone wires which withstand a lot more electricity and heat, and even oil and grease and other things. Silicone wires, I believe, are the future rather than PVC. And over here, you see everything is connected nicely. And the way that I see other people using these controllers is that they have to set up in the house where they're permanent or inside an RV type of thing. This I was able to carry outside in a bag. However, I live in the city and that's my situation. I have to have everything portable. But the way that I see it is that, let's say, if I had a house with a nice south-facing wall, I would just go and take this panel and screw it onto those bricks and have 300 watts coming in during the sunny times at all times. Okay. So 296. Let's see what it does with partial shading. Is there a t-shirt here? Let's take a t-shirt and do a partial shading test like this. Okay? So we're producing 300 watts. Now let's see what we have coming in after the partial shading. The partial shading brought it down to 172. Now it's back to 300. So ideally you don't want to partial shade this thing. Long story short is that it's nice to have already a large panel. What are the benefits of this panel? The benefits of this panel is that you would be able to connect this panel to a 48 volt battery bank. Maybe. Because perhaps 48 is a little bit under 60 volts when it's charging. So if this is 14.2 when it's charging, if you multiply that by 4, 14.2 by 4, 28, so 56 to 58. So if it's 59 volts open circuit, we could also check what is the voltage when it's connected in parallel. So that's the beauty of this extra connector. We can quickly check the voltage while it's producing 300 watts. What is the parallel voltage while it's being used? So open circuit voltage pretty much means is that when nothing is connected. Voltage open circuit. So let's see what it is when it's not open circuit, when it's actually eating energy. So it's actually operating at 46 volts while it's producing the 300 watts. So perhaps I was wrong about it being able to charge a 48 volt bank. However, what we could do is always connect two of these panels in series to get a little bit over 100 volts. But this can only do 100 volts input anyway. So probably I would do a maximum 24 volt battery bank with this specific panel. So what is my conclusion with this panel? I mean, it's a solar panel, it's foldable technology. Obviously, probably the longer lasting panels would be the ones that don't fold up. But if you think about it, a 400 watt panel would be this size anyway. And imagine trying to throw that in the trunk with the rest of your luggage. I'm picturing using this on a nice off-grid cabin or even on a residential out the window. Perhaps where else it could be used is use the grommets to hang it up on a south-facing balcony. That sounds like it's the width and the height of an exact balcony, and it would actually be perfect, and that would keep it from like flying away in the wind. You do have to be a little bit careful with it, you know, because you don't want to hear too many of the crunching noises. The design is pretty good. I'm loving the quality of this lamination. So this feels almost like the quality of the PV200. Perhaps BigBlue didn't raise enough money to release this on the Amazon market, but perhaps maybe it will be released in the next few years, maybe under another brand name. What I also like about it is that it has these heavy-duty inbuilt handles. So that's another point to fasten it down to something. I really like that. What else do I like about it? I like that it's nice and high voltage. What else do I like about it? Overall, it's a nice panel. You could throw 3 of these in the trunk with a BigBlue solar generator and produce up to 2,000 watts power and cook your chicken outside while producing it and be completely portable. However, probably what I would do is I would actually use 3 of those Victron controllers. If you're already having a heavy thing, and get maybe 3 or 4 2,000 watt battery banks, maybe 3 of them, because that thing can connect up to 3. So imagine 3 of those running in parallel. So you could do the up to the kilowatt charging ability, and you can run a nice inverter of a 4,000 watt inverter. I'm really enjoying the Roarbat inverter, and pretty much power anything with it. So alright friends, what do you think about the solar panel? Where would you use it? Did you find something better? So those are the reasons that I bought it. I'm not sponsored. I mean, you could always click the links. This one doesn't even have an Amazon link, so I want to know what you think about it. I want to know how it helped you, and maybe what other ideas that you have. I want to continue this discussion with other people, and share my hobby and interest in the solar panel technology. It's not just solar panel technology that's my interest. It's actually about being independent. So I'm imagining a nation that's debt-free, that's able to produce its own water from a well, let's say, and produce its own electricity. So the only thing we have is maybe satellite internet to contend with, and this way we could live anywhere and live peacefully and not have all these crazy bills coming in. And that's one of those things. Apparently, I don't know if it says in the Bible, I have to look it up specifically where. My understanding is that debt, or like interest payments for like debt, is like anti-God. And I'm kind of thinking I can't really blame the banks, because people voluntarily sign on the dotted line, kind of almost like signing away their soul and spending all their time working when they could be enjoying life more if we actually were more independent. However, that's what we have as a consumer society, which doesn't necessarily have to be, where you could produce a lot of the stuff yourself and live life on the best terms in according to God's law, as opposed to man's law, which has been unfortunately corrupted, because it's not even equity, it's some sort of maritime law. Like, they pretend we're like ships on the ocean and strawmen and things like this. Anyways, this is a solar panel video, but if you really think about it, your own energy production is interconnected with all the stuff that's going on, and makes me wish for like other people to also come up with this realization, and all of us to take a peaceful way to living a more abundant life. It's like the way that Jesus put it is that I have come so that you could have more abundance. So what is the abundance done through? Is through God's law. So what if we didn't borrow money? Like, for example, Mennonites, they don't borrow money. And this one guy was criticized. Oh, look at your really small house, right? And then he comments to the guy, hey, at least I own this house, and the bank owns yours. See this car? This is the worst car that I'll ever have, and I own it outright, and your car the bank owns. So I'm just kind of like thinking. Even the Amish, they use solar panels, so that's probably in line with their these church teachings. So I'm just like yourself. I'm just trying to do the best that I can, and trying to always improve, bettering the best, and just enjoying every day. I mean, I'm enjoying myself. I'm catching a nice tan and reviewing this solar panel and making this video for you guys, and see what you guys think. So thumb it up, and I'll see you in the next one, and God bless you. Bye.